Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to film this really quickly because I feel like if I go and edit the foodie video I've just recorded, I'll just forget to come back and do this one. I've been owing you a personal update for a while. Things were super busy this week. It was a heavy work week. Generally the busyness I have in other weeks are just, hey, we work a lot and I am trying to bring less work home. I was working kind of one day a week on the weekend at home on school stuff when I first got here because I was in a new job and it was necessary. But I'm at the point now where I don't feel like that's necessary and I'm really trying to separate work and home life where I can. But that being said, we had a parents' day over the last week. So I spent all weekend just prepping for that because I know the students in more extreme cases quite well when they're either above level or really below level, but the ones that kind of hang out in the middle, I wanted to make sure I had notes down for all of them so I could give a good view of all of them, because sometimes some of them just skip through the cracks. Essentially, they don't cause any major behavioral issues, they don't have any major academic issues, and they kind of disappear in your mind sometimes. And because I have a lot of kids I teach, I wanted to make sure that I was getting some notes down, so I had something for everyone. So I did that all weekend and I was very tired. We had the Parents' Day and then our mark books, which are the grades we use for our report cards, which will come a little bit later, were due at the end of that week. So it was a full-on week and it felt like we did 2 weeks in a 1 week block somehow. But I'm at the weekend now, I've had a bit more sleep, not quite enough yet, but a bit more. We did have some unexpected news on Thursday as well. A friend of mine who actually flew out to the school with me, not a personal friend in my life, but was going from the same airport and flew out with me because we were on the same booking, so we were sitting next to each other, actually failed his probation period here at the school, and it was quite unexpected, and he was told he has to leave next week. So that was a shock, and we've just been sort of processing that and helping him with the practical situations that brings up, because obviously he was setting up his life here and now you've got like contracts to cancel and you've got to get him home and you got to plan for his next place of employment, which he wasn't expecting to do, and that's kept us quite busy this weekend because obviously he needs some support and he does need support. So that's sort of what was happening there. I have been promising you guys an apartment tour as well because I showed you when it was really full of stuff. I have had it filmed for a couple of weeks actually, but I intended to put it as part of like a longer vlog of me out and about a little bit, and I just haven't had a chance to film the other parts. So what I'll probably do for you is maybe I'll just put it in right here, perhaps. Hello teacups, what's broom? Welcome back. I keep trying to film little bits here and there and we've just been so busy. I've just been spending a lot of time at school, so I obviously haven't filmed there. But I did want to show you the apartment because I've been working on it and kind of personalising it. I know I did that very quick tour when I first arrived in the middle of the night at like 2 AM or whatever, but I thought I'd show you what I'd done with it now. Most of the changes have happened sort of in the living room just to make it a bit more open, and some of my own stuff in and stuff like that. But the cleaner came through yesterday, so I figured now was a good time. We'll start you at the door again. We come through the hallway to this side. This was the spare bedroom. I've had the bed taken out, trying not to blind you through the windows. I have closed some of the other curtains. This is where I'm filming, and then have my computer there. I used to use my Surface Pro, but I'm trying to put my video editing into here, and I also game on that computer. Come through here, just got myself a little shoe rack. I'm about to go out, which is why my shoes are out. And this is what I did to the living room. So this is a bit of a change from last time. Before, that table was over here, and it was sort of blocking off the kitchen. And I had two massive sofas, so I've kept the smaller of the two just here. And I had a big one there, and I had a big armchair here. Because all the furniture is this kind of moulded, very bulky furniture, I just wanted something a little easier. So I took the two corner units, the side units for this couch from these two corners here. Just put a little plant in there. And this was the coffee table. There was a TV console here, which didn't match, annoyed me a little bit. So I've moved the coffee table here as my TV console.
and I've made a little purchase of a cheap dining table, I don't know what I'm saying, coffee table. This is one of the actual indoor-outdoor coffee tables from IKEA, and the rug as well is an indoor-outdoor rug because I do have a patio area. I was thinking of doing that, but then it worked better in here. I like the colour, it kind of tied everything together. Just got a plant in here. It's the kitchen. I haven't done much in here. I've just put a rug down, bought a coffee machine, very happy about it. I actually bought two. Okay, I'll tell you the story of this, hang on. So some of you know that I have spent a reasonable amount of time in China. And while I was in China, I used to shop on Taobao because that was how you got everything. It was really easy. AliExpress is the international version of Taobao. And I ended up ordering a coffee machine off of there because I thought, okay, well, I know from experience that non-brand names aren't always worse and brand names aren't always better. So I'll find a price I'm comfortable with and I'll try it out because I wanted a bean to cup machine and they're really expensive. And I got this bean to cup machine and it looked the part, but God, it made bad coffee. I was so annoyed about it, so angry about it. And I was just like, nah, I can't. I sulked with it for a few weeks and then I was like, no. It makes me angry every time I go to make a cup of coffee and it doesn't make a good one. Better to just spend the money, get one that I'm happy with and be happy instead of being irritated about it. So I was going to get rid of the other one, and then one of my friends in the DT department was like, hey, it's going to make better coffee than instant, which is absolutely true, it does. Instant is not real coffee. And he was like, can we take it for the TD department? And I was like, yep, absolutely you can. So at least it's gone to a new home, which is nice. It's not wasteful. And someone else can enjoy it who's maybe less picky than I am. But I ended up getting the Breville machine to replace it. And although it took a little bit of a hit with the cost, at least now I'm happy with my purchase. So other than that, I put a couple of fake plants up. I've got some coffee things here. And the rest is just livable space, you know, a little rack here for my dishes, that kind of thing. And a rug down, a little one from IKEA. I need to get the underlay for it though, because I keep tripping on it, and one day I'm just going to smack my face on the floor. So that was most of it. I'm glad I've just stolen that chair for the office, because I still haven't gotten an office chair in the other room. I might not actually, it does the job. But it's a better place here. I think it works out better. And this leads out into my patio, which I won't blind you with now because the sun's super bright outside. But I'm quite pleased with how it's going so far. No real changes in the bedroom, just changed the bedding. The AC's going because I was doing my makeup a second ago. But nothing too interesting in here that's changed, so I'll just leave you with it. But yeah, I'm quite pleased. Oh, there's the sun. I'm quite pleased with how it's going so far. Okay, just sat down with some coffee because I'm leaving quite soon. Today's plans are go to Lulu's, get some groceries, try and get a Chantel recap up. It depends if I can watch her last live stream or not, but get my thoughts together. I think the recap style is pretty much where we are right now. And I might be going to the aquarium later. One of my friends said they were thinking of heading up this afternoon, 4 or 5 p.m. And they've got a really cool Starbucks in the aquarium, or next to the aquarium. So because it's built right next door and you've got the aquarium tank, the Starbucks above their menu has this massive cutout. And so you'll be drinking your coffee and suddenly this shark will go by. So that's kind of cool, but I haven't been inside the actual aquarium yet. So be a nice afternoon with a couple of friends, and we'll see how it goes. If I end up filming anything, I'll put it in here, obviously. But thank you so much, and I'll see when this actually goes out as a video, if we've got any more days after it. I always feel a bit awkward signing off because I never know if the sign off is going to be the final part of the video or not. Probably not, but I'll see you soon.
I hope I put it in right there. I hope when I go to my computer that I do have the clips I think I have. If there was nothing there, or just a sign saying, yep, whoops, next time, then I apologize. Right now, the apartment, the front room particularly, is looking much better, much more my style. I did buy a couple of things today, like a few more fake flowers, lovely fake flowers actually, and a vase. I want to get some wall lighting. The corners are looking a little bit bare. And I saw some lovely kind of willow branch lighting on Amazon.ae. I'm not sure if I can get it shipped here because I think it's a bit big. And they tend to be limited in the sizes they can send. For anyone who doesn't know, Oman doesn't have their own version of Amazon. They use the UAE one, and then over a certain amount they ship free to like Bahrain, Kuwait and Oman. So we don't have our own localized version. I guess it's not worth it to them when you can ship through the GCC, but it does limit sometimes what I can buy in. So a few more things to do there. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to decorate for Christmas. I think there are a few things around, but if I decorate for Christmas, one, I have to start from scratch because I don't have any decorations, which is quite expensive. And then I have to store it, which I guess I've got some cupboards. I've got some wardrobes right next to me and some cupboards up top. And I could put it in there, I suppose, but I'm just not sure if I want it. I'm of two minds when it comes to Christmas decorations because sometimes putting it up makes you really happy. And I kind of miss the run up to Christmas a lot of the time. But sometimes it catches you wrong. And then you're just sitting there and you've got a decorated room, there's no one there. And you're just like, oh, you know, there's more Christmas here than there was in Saudi. Like some local hotels will do like Christmas meals and things, and there'll be little events that the teachers will organize, because not everyone goes home for Christmas here, because our holidays are quite late. So it's actually the first school I've had in a long time that have had holidays that include Christmas Day. Usually you have a winter break, but you have it like beginning of January, so you skip this whole season. So I'm going to see what's going on. I might also see if any of the embassies are doing events, because sometimes they do and it's really nice. We did have a little Halloween thing here last weekend. They did it a little bit early. Was it last weekend or was it a few days ago? I can't remember exactly, but a little bit closer to Halloween itself. So I haven't had like trick-or-treaters or anything for a long time, but we did an hour or two where I want to say the neighborhood kids, but the kids are the teachers that live in the residential area of the school, were doing like routes around the neighborhood. And if you were okay with them knocking your door for candy, you decorated your door. So I got some orange construction paper from school and I drew like a pumpkin and a bat and I stuck it up on my door. It's actually still there. I need to take it down. But it was so nice. The kids are tiny and I came with a big bowl of candy. I'm like, take a fistful. And they're like, oh, really? Because there aren't that many kids, you know? So I'm like, you get all the candy, go for it. And they were just so excited in their costumes. I was actually a little bit surprised to see when I was trying to vlog and couldn't get a lot of clips. One of the things I had was that the Miniso here, Miniso is where I got this cup, by the way. I had a few people ask. But the Miniso here had a few little Halloween costumes for kids, which really surprised me, but was kind of nice to see, you know? So that was a fun little event and didn't involve me putting much effort in, but I really enjoyed. I love the kids here. I love the kids here and they're always so excited, you know? Other than that, things just busy at work and quite quiet at the weekend. I'm just settling into a routine now. I did do a mall visit at the beginning of this week where I just got like this dress I got when I was there and a couple of other things I needed. And so because I've been working really hard, you may have seen the budgeting videos I also have on channel. I've been working really hard to keep to a budget, so I've been a bit quieter. So I did my one kind of more splurgy shop at the beginning of the month. And then I had that one weekend where I was just working flat out. And I don't know if we're gonna have 2 or 3 weekends this month, but the others have just been like, okay, I went out and got my groceries, or at most I went up the street to the little tea shop and sat down with someone and had a chat, you know, with a friend or something. So nothing too extravagant going on here, but enjoying it still, it's fine. It is starting to cool down a tiny bit, which is lovely. The humidity is more or less gone, but it's still quite warm. I've been going crazy with my my Wi-Fi though. I'm having a lot of problems. I'm covered by a supplier called Ooredoo here, and I had a problem the first month where I had a contract and it said the speed, it was like 100 megabytes per second was the speed I paid for, because you had different packages you could buy, and they said yes, no problem. My contract said that, and then I called them when the bill came out of my account, because I was like, you've charged me for 50. Why have you charged me for 50? And they said, well, you were put on for 50. I'm like, well, my contract says 100. What are you doing? And we eventually figured it out, but it took a little while, and then I paid like a prorated amount for the time when I'd had 50 and a prorated amount for, prorated, is that what I just said? Prorated amount for when they were giving me the correct amount. I think I did actually tell you this because there was a free subscription to like a video streaming service that came with it, that came with the 100 and didn't come with the 50, so I was having trouble signing up for it and I couldn't figure out why. So that all happened and I was like, okay, few teething issues, no problem. Cut to this month. On the 12th of this month, I received a text message, because they send everything through text, saying, hey, your Wi-Fi bill is going to be issued soon, and it's going to cost whatever it is, 37 Real, whatever it is. And I was like, okay, great. And on it, they had a link saying, you know, you can pay through the app. And I pressed the link and I already had the app installed. So it just loaded up my payment screen. And I was like, perfect. And the bill hadn't quite been issued yet. So I just put the amount, because I hadn't connected my, my card to the app yet, so they couldn't take auto payments. So I just made a payment into my account to cover the next bill. And I left it in there and figured in a day or two when the bill is issued, it'll be there, they can just take it out. I don't really go on my app very much, and I had reason to open it a few days ago, and I noticed that they just hadn't taken the money. And I was like, what? Why haven't you? I haven't had any communication saying that you haven't paid your bill, but clearly I haven't paid the bill. The money's still in there. So I went up to their counter, because there's one by the supermarket today, and they were like, there's no money in your account, you haven't paid the bill. I opened up my app, showed her the balance, and was like, it's here, please take it. And she just looked at her screen, looked at my app, which I just opened in front of her, looked at her screen and said, yeah, there's no money in your account. And I'm trying to keep my cool, because I'm fine with there being a mix-up. I'm fine with me doing something wrong, which I think I figured out. I think I did make a mistake. But I'm not fine when I show you very clearly, hey, this thing exists and it's right here and this is the situation. And you tell me, yeah, it's not there. I'm like, I am aware there is a discrepancy between what you are seeing on your system right there and what I am proving to you right here. My issue is this. Could you please fix the thing I'm telling you? Like trying to stay calm because you're going to lose your shit. But having quite a frustrating conversation for about 20 minutes at this counter where they're saying it doesn't exist. And you're like, yes, I am aware your system says that, and that is my problem. Could we fix it? And then she looked at me and she went, call the hotline. We can't help you here. And I was like, so that, no, first she said, come back Sunday and see my manager. And I was like, I'm not taking a taxi back here on Sunday so your manager can tell me they can't help me either. Are you crazy? And then I didn't say that to her, but I thought about it in my head. And then she said, okay, call the customer service number because they have access to the systems that I don't have here. And maybe it is a mistake, and maybe she said you might have to raise a complaint. A complaint isn't always a complaint here, but raising an issue in the complaint system allows you to make a request. When I was changing from the 100 to the 50 because they had accidentally installed the wrong one, I had to raise a complaint so that they could go in and they could say, okay, because of this complaint, we're allowing her to change. Otherwise, it would have been considered a change of contract and I would have had to pay the penalty to get out of my original contract. So it's whenever a request and an exception needs to be made, they call it a complaint. So I call the Wi-Fi team and I try and explain the situation and they raise a complaint for me, but I can tell from the way they're talking, they do not understand the problem because they think I've made a payment and it hasn't gone through. And I'm like, no, the payment from my bank to Ooredoo, to the account I have in Ooredoo, is there. Just you haven't taken it. I don't understand. I think I figured it out now. That happened. I was looking through the paperwork. I couldn't figure out what happened. And now I think what has actually happened, I have 2 different accounts with Ooredoo, which I thought were one account and might not be. So I have obviously my Omani ID card and everything is connected to my residency ID, yeah? And Ooredoo is the one company and I have 2 services with them. And I think what's happened is when I pressed the link to go into the app, it just opened up the payment. It was like amount put in. And I think it actually may have paid it onto my phone account. And because I thought it was all one, I just thought it was a credit and they could take it from my account. But because the internet is postpaid and the Wi-Fi is postpaid, and because it's a contract, and the phone is prepaid, they're not connected. They're two completely different arms. So I've got a credit of 36 something real on my phone that I can't use for my Wi-Fi. And to fix that, I have to go and get a statement from the bank, which is not open during any hour that I open. They're open from 9 till 4 and I work in all those hours. So there's no way for me to do it without skipping work. I then have to take the statement to an Ooredoo shop, a physical shop. They have to raise the complaint and they have to attach the statement with the transaction number as proof of complaint. Once that's been processed by the people who live on the phone, Ooredoo can then make the decision if they're willing to refund that money for me or not, which is more trouble that I'm willing to go to. So I will probably make a second payment for my Wi-Fi, which kind of sucks because it's kind of expensive. It's like 37 Omani Real. So like 70, 80 quid now with the exchange rate, maybe 70 quid when I first got it. So I'll just make the payment so the Wi-Fi is clear because I don't want them to cut it off for non-payment. And I'll probably leave the credit on my phone account, and it's essentially me prepaying for the next 6 months of my phone, which kind of sucks because it's my most expensive fixed bill. And I didn't really want to have to pay it twice this month. But at least I can understand why it has happened now. Whereas when I was trying to have the conversation with them, I don't think they were following all the steps that I was saying. And there seemed to be confusion. When they said account, they seemed to think bank account. And when I was saying account, I was talking about my Ooredoo account. And I had different account numbers for everything. And I was just like, I don't have an answer. So I'm probably going to get a call on Sunday from the complaints department being like, what was the issue? And I'm just going to be like, I've sorted it, don't worry about it, cheers. Done. And now I know where to pay my Wi-Fi. So ultimately, my fault with the help of slightly bad linkage from the SMS, but not helpful. And God almighty, I just want it to go smoothly in month 3. I don't want to keep having all the problems with this service. So, maybe a little bit of stupidity on my part, maybe a bit of bad service on their part. One of those things. So that's pretty much been my month. Quite quiet. I was going to say quite quiet after ranting to you about all of that. But no major events going on. It is Omani, not International Day, what I'm saying, National Day on, I believe, the 17th. So I think the Educational Ministry haven't decided the exact dates for the holiday yet, but I think we get a long weekend for it. Which will be quite nice because we're getting to the point in the term where everything's starting to feel a bit long. But like I said, I don't usually get time off in December at all. So for me, it's quite nice. I did manage to get through my observation because on top of the Parents' Day and the report card grades being due, I had to have an observation as part of my probation period, and I was shit and break through the whole. It's so stupid because, okay, here's the thing. I've been teaching for like 11, 12 years. Yeah, I think 12 years now. And I'm fairly adaptable. So if they had given me no warning, if they had shown up that morning and said, this is the concept we want you to teach, do it now, no prep, and we're going to watch, I could pull something halfway decent, if not particularly well prepared, out of my ass. I can teach effectively, and I've been doing it long enough that if I had to step into a colleague's lesson to do a sub suddenly, for example, which is when that skill really becomes necessary, I could do that if I had to. But every time I have an observation, I freak out. And I know it's stupid because I know it's just an emotional thing. It's just anxiety talking, because logically, I absolutely see the value in the reflection process that goes with that. And I know, because I've been on the other side of it, I know that they're there to support the teacher and they're there to help improve and move the teacher forward so that they can see progress in their career and evolution as a teacher in the school. They're all very good reasons, but I freak out every time, and I will continue to freak out every time. So I had that observation, and it kept like, scheduling it was a nightmare because we kept getting shut early for various reasons. We had an eclipse and school got shut early. So I was trying to figure out on a very opposing schedule because I had two people observing. I had my peer observation person who had a very different schedule from mine, so there wasn't much opportunity. And because I was a brand new teacher, my head of my department also came to observe at the same time. Great, perfect, exactly what I wanted. But everything kept getting moved, so I was just trying to get it done. And I had the feedback session for it last thing on Thursday last week. So it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I'm looking forward, knock wood, turn around 3 times and spit, to things just being a little bit calmer this week. Because it's been a lot of emotions. And then, you know, it ended up with my friend not passing his probation, and I'm so sorry for that sudden cut off. My phone brought up a notification saying update your phone now, and for some reason that overrides the filming, so it just cut everything off. I was like, that's a terrible design feature, don't do that. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm gonna put this together, and I will try and keep you more regularly updated. I will be closing out my budget probably next weekend, because that's the weekend of like the 11th, isn't it? I get paid no later than the 15th, so I'm probably going to be paid a week after next on like the 14th or 13th, I would imagine. So it's probably safe just to close out my budget a day or two before I get paid, and then I will do a fresh one next month if you're here for the budgeting content. And I'll see you then. So thank you very much for listening. I will see you next time. Bye bye everyone.